Hello, I'm going to show you how to make a graph in Excel with more than one line on the same graph. And these instructions are especially set up for the Potato Corpse Lab for Forensics. So the first thing you do is you need to open a blank workbook in Excel and type in your data. And you only have to put the time in once, but for each vegetable or fruit that you do, you should have a column of the temperatures. And I have two here. This is just made up data. It might be really different from yours because I really just sat here and made it up. And you should have 4 different fruits or vegetables. So you'd have columns in D and E as well if you're doing the Potato Corpse Lab. All right, so how are we going to make our graph? The first thing to do is let's start by just getting the sweet potato, or whatever our first column is, we're going to get that selected. So I'm going to click on A. I'm going to click down. While it's still clicked, I'm going to use another finger to drag across to B. So I have A and B selected. I'm going to make a graph of this by clicking on the Insert tab right there, Insert. I'm going to go to the recommended charts and I'm going to add a scatter chart. So that's the sweet potato data. But I want to have more than one line on the same graph. So what I need to do now is go to Select Data, and this pops up. And I have my series of the sweet potato graph, but I need to add a series for the apple. So I'm going to click plus to add a series. Then I'm going to enter the name of my series. Well, this is going to be my apple graph, so I'm going to call it apple. My x values, well, I want, as you maybe saw before, I want time on the x-axis and the temperature on the y. So for the x values, I'm just going to highlight the numbers of time. So I'm going to click and drag until all of my times are selected. Okay, for y, I'm going to delete that 1 there, and I'm going to highlight the temperatures of the apple. So just click and drag until it's selected, and then I'm going to say OK. And there are my data points. So I have my apple and my sweet potato. So I need to add some things here. I need to add a title. So still under the Chart Design tab, I'm going to click Add Chart Element, Chart Title, above Chart, or wherever you want to put it. And I'm just going to change the title like whatever you want to name it. Try to be specific. And then you want to label our axes. So that's also under Add Chart Element, Axes Titles. You have to do them one at a time. Primary horizontal, this is the label for your x-axis. And if we look at the numbers, we think about the graph, this is our time, and it's in seconds. So put your units in your graph. It's always good. All right, and I just made the graph bigger so I could see it better. Then add chart element, we're going to add the y-axis, that's primary vertical. We can just click on that to change it. Now this one, this is temperature, right? And it's in Fahrenheit. So that's how you do that. You should also see if you can get it to, you can add lines, you can add a legend. If we add a legend, it's going to default. If you have your titles up there, you did like I did, like typing in the word apple. If you just click Add Legend, it's going to know, the blue dots are sweet potato, red is apple, or whatever your vegetables are. If you want to add trend lines, you can. If you want to analyze that data, that's optional, but you do that by saying trend line. You can do more trend line options. It'll pop one up there, and you can say display equation on chart if you want. If you want to see the equation, you can move it so it's not blocked. And you can do that with your other data as well. This is just to analyze it mathematically. It doesn't say that has to be in your graph, but it's just something you can do. So anyway, that's how you do it. You can save it. You can copy this, like file copy or edit copy, or Command C and then put it in your lab to submit it. All right. Thank you.